Hello guys, I'm so excited that finally I have just received my new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. It's a book that consists of 400 pages. You can purchase this book on Amazon, and this book contains my former books, The PEDs used in sports and the good, the bad, and the ugly, plus the training, nutrition, supplementation, but also including extra features, Q&As about gear, about HRT, but also a quiz regarding supplements, diet, and of course PEDs. So the Bible of Bodybuilding on Amazon, both on ebook and Kindle version.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tsoulianos, brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding, available on Amazon.com. Gives you everything you need to know: training, nutrition, supplementation, PEDs, everything you need to know to get your best physique. And while you're on there buying bodybuilding books, might as well get this one, Real Bodybuilding by Ron Harris. What a great book. And now from Athens, Greece, please welcome the doctor himself, George Tsoulianos. Welcome, doctor.
Hi, Ron. You got some hot news about the contest, huh?
Yeah, we're recording this on Monday morning, and last night, 212 Olympia champion from 2019, Sean Clarita, he's been calling himself the giant killer for years, but he wasn't really killing any giants. But last night, he definitely did. He won the Legion Sports Fest against guys like Sergio Oliva Jr., who was about 275 pounds. Regan Grimes looked like he was about 250, just started working with Milos. It was a great lineup, a lot of big dudes. And now he says 5'2", I say 5'1", about 180, 182 pounds. So now he really is the giant killer. I don't know, did you get a chance to see any pictures or videos?
Yeah, I had some pictures. Actually, he reminds me of David Henry, a little bit.
Yeah.
Excellent separation, good muscle anatomy, great symmetry, proportions. And he won also the 212, even though he's way lighter than the 212 range, the weight.
Yeah.
But I guess, okay, he's a giant killer too, like Benaziza was once upon a time in the 90s. But I guess it matters also for the fans, the size, as long as it's brought along with separation. So you can say that Sergio Oliva is off. To me, it's kind of odd, when somebody was so small, because bodybuilding is about size. Dorian said it also. Remember?
Yeah.
It was Lou Ferrigno and Flavio Bianchini. I don't remember, in 93.
I was there.
Yeah, Lou was 6'5", 310.
Yeah.
And Flavio was 5'5", I don't know,
4'11", I think he was.
Really?
He wasn't 5 foot. He was very, very short guy.
So what are the criteria? What are the criteria here in bodybuilding? Is it size? Is it symmetry? Is it definition, proportion, the whole package? So it's a matter of the judges, and I want to hear Steve Weinberger's opinion, because he's a top judge, and the most experienced guy.
Yeah. How
he should evaluate a giant with good separation, with I couldn't say dwarf, but with a small guy that has a whole package apart from size,
Well, see, that's the thing. Now you got to ask yourself, he does have size. He's just shorter. If he was 5'10", 5'11", he'd probably be about 270, 280 pounds. So he has the size, but you're right. I mean, I saw the pictures of the top three.
He has good high sweep. I like his legs like balloons,
Yeah.
The point is, what are the proper, the criteria, and what, first, second, third.
Yeah.
And after all, bodybuilding is subjective, or it's an objective sport, Is it to the eye of the particular judge, or there's a certain,
Well, I'm going to get the opinion of Milos, because Milos just started coaching Regan Grimes, I think, at the Olympia 2 weeks ago. And he did a great job in just 2 weeks with him. But
he said it was a fair result.
Well, I don't know. I got to find out. I'm going to talk to him. I want to talk to him today, because I
Is
want
he
to hear what he
upset
says.
about losing of his athlete?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet, but he's got to be happy, because Regan was second to last place at the Olympia. So he looked so much bigger and fuller at the Legion show in just 2 weeks. Milos worked a miracle with this guy. I think Regan with, if he can stay with Milos for, you know, the next year, he's going to start winning some shows. He's going to get even better and better as time goes by. Regan, very impressed with Regan Grimes. But yeah, we'll see.
I remember when Dexter Jackson won the Olympia, it was because Dexter every year is the same almost. He's on shape. But he grabbed the chance, he grabbed the shadow from Jay because Jay was off.
Yeah.
Same with Ramy. When Ramy comes off, he will lose the shadow. Even though he has all the muscle of the world, he just needs the conditioning 10 out of 10, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what if say next year Ramy comes in off? It could happen. Anything can happen in bodybuilding. And Hadi Choopan looks even better. He's just crazy, bigger, more shredded.
Well, Hadi has enormous density.
Yeah.
So perhaps even better than Brandon in certain points, you know?
Oh, he does.
Very thick muscles.
Yeah. Thick, and he's so much detail, so much
grainy, striations also.
Dry, cut, just everywhere you look, there's muscle fibers popping all over each other.
But since Samir Benoot, never a guy under 200 pounds with the shadow. You know, Sean Ray was running up to Dorian, and Dorian said, I'm going to put you in the baby seat in the car, you know. So it was always about the size, you know.
Yeah. But this is going to, a lot of discussions will happen now because for a guy that's 180 pounds, 5'2", 180 pounds to win an open. It's
very aesthetic and very appealing to the eye. The point is, okay, when we put him sit down next to the giants, what is number one? Is it separation? Is it mass? Or is it symmetry? You know?
Yeah. I'm interested to hear what maybe Steve Weinberg will do an interview. I'd love to hear what he has to say about it. Sure. All right, Doc, you ready for some questions? We got some good ones. The first one, I've always wondered this, so maybe you can tell me all about this. What is cabergolin exactly, and what is it used for? I've heard to use cabergolin with nandrolone. If so, at what dosage of nandrolone is cabergolin indicated, and what dosage of cabergolin? Does cabergolin itself have side effects? Tell me all about cabergolin.
Cabergolin is a dopamine agonist.
Okay.
It's a compound that is supposed to lower prolactin. Now, doesn't mean necessarily that prolactin will elevate with nandrolone or with trenbolone. There are other circumstances also that favor this. Apart from estrogen aromatization, stress elevates, insomnia, as I said, marijuana use, hypothyroidism, opiates. So it's multifactorial. We can't say that you start running a decade or a trend cycle, then you should obligatory use cabergolin or bromocriptine. You know, you just have to evaluate by the labs, because personally, I had prolactin down to 5 when I was running 50 milligrams of deca. And when I stopped it and I had issues with my sleep, my prolactin was up to 20. So one size doesn't fit all. We cannot say, should I take diuretics? It matters how you look. Okay, so there's no black and white, you know. Each case is unique, it's different. But always take medication according to your labs. So, and of course, your symptoms, if you have this milky galactoria, you know, or you have a puffy nipple or some pain, and you still have low E2, then I guess it's elevated prolactin. Work by evidence, check it out, and then accordingly use medication. Now, if prolactin is super elevated over 30, I guess you have to use twice a week. Now, if it's moderate, from 15 to 20, then I guess once a week is enough. But there are people that work at night, you know, doormen, bodyguards, late shift, you know, that have steady elevated prolactin because they don't sleep well, because insomnia is a form of stress. So they should use continuously, as long as they have this kind of lifestyle, the cabergolin, you know.
So does it have side effects, cabergolin?
Yeah, every drug has side effects. No, but I think the good thing about dopamine agonists is that you suppress appetite.
Oh, okay.
Because elevated prolactin also is linked to increased appetite, especially after ejaculation, after sex. Your appetite increases because prolactin elevates. And when you lower prolactin, bromocriptine, for instance, there was another question a couple of shows ago. That is linked to suppression of appetite, you know, and I guess it has to do with leptin, which is the satiety hormone.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Next one. Listen to this guy. Got his own centrifuge at home. Hey, Doc, I own my own centrifuge and do PRP on my own knee. Wow, due to a full knee reconstruction I had after a motorcycle crash. The question is PRP effective intramuscularly for hyperplasia? I will do this every 2 to 3 weeks for 12 months along with GH and PEDs. Wow.
Now, the PRP is a rich plasma platelet, fluid, which is enhanced with growth factors.
Yeah. Could
be IGF-1 also, but there's also some other, I think it's a growth factor has to do with platelets. It has to do with boosting the chondroblasts. So it makes new tissues, it makes new cartilage. Mm-hmm. So it's preferable for the joints and synovial cavity to improve the articular surface, where the bones articulate to each other.
Yeah.
When you have the osteoarthritis, for instance.
Like me.
But I doubt if you have to inject it intramuscularly. Better inject IGF-1 intramuscularly after your workout. Mm. This is a growth factor as well, or mechanism growth factor, MGF, injected post-workout to the region that you have already trained, Yeah. Besides this rich plasma factor, it's a lot of things that it has to be injected. It's very painful, It's horrible, the pain.
Have you done it?
It's done with, no, they've told me that it's done with anesthesia and it gets numb, very swollen. So it's not for muscle tissue, just for synovial cavities.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, have you ever heard of anybody doing PRP on themselves?
No, man, this is crazy. This is dangerous. Even for the antiseptic conditions, you may get serious infection,
I mean, if you wanted to do it yourself, could you? Do you have the equipment?
Unless you are a orthopedic surgeon, you know what to do. Also the anatomy, come on.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
sounds like Frankenstein's story.
I mean, I hope he's okay. So I hope you're okay. This sounds pretty crazy, but he's probably trying to save a lot of money because here in the US, I think each treatment is like $2,000 or $3,000.
I think Flex Lewis did the stem cell in 2 shoulders, 2 elbows, 2 knees, 6 joints.
Wow. He went out of the country. He went to, I want to say Colombia. Yeah. Is that where he went? Colombia, I think. Somewhere. Anyway, next one. Back to our drug questions. Question on blasting and cruising approach. Can you explain what are the differences in caloric value or nutrition in general between cruising and blasting? How would you adjust your nutrition when you're blasting versus cruising?
So I guess cruising has to do with maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Now blasting, it refers to exploding on gear, but the point is, what's your goal? To burn fat, retain muscle, or to grow and build also muscle, but retain some fat? Because for the off season, no matter how much you want to grow, what is important is the ratio between protein and carbs.
Yeah.
So it has to be double the carbs for the protein. Okay, you need a positive nitrogen balance, at least 2 grams of protein per kilogram body weight, or that is, I think, 1 pound.
Yeah.
But what matters is the caloric surplus, of course, and you have to be 4 grams of carbs per body weight.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Now, if you wanna blast, but kill the fat and retain the muscle, you have to do 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs. You switch the ratio. Okay, less carbs, of course, to burn the fat, lower insulin, and higher protein to get the energy from the protein to lower the carbs and preserve the muscle. And the fat also goes down, goes minimum to 50 grams a day, unlike the off season that you can increase your fat up to 100 grams a day. Good fat, of course, and a caloric surplus. And the off season and the cardiac phase, you need the caloric deficit, even though you blast. So what is more important is, what is your goal, your main goal? You want to grow or you want to lean out?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people, a mistake I see people make when they're cruising, they still eat the same way they were when they were blasting.
No, because listen, the metabolism goes down when you cruise.
Yeah.
You don't have so much gear to burn all this shit, no?
You get fat. Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot assimilate all this food. You cannot utilize all this food.
Right.
You don't burn so much energy because your exercise is going down. the intensity,
Yeah.
and also less hormones means less fat burning also, because androgens oxidize the fat, you know.
Yeah.
So take it easy.
There you go. There you go, sir. There's your answer. Next question, doctor. I take a beta blocker, propranolol, in the morning, 40 milligrams. It's prescribed for anxiety. If I take clenbuterol for cutting, does the beta blocker negate the fat burning effects of the clen? And unrelated, but how much krill oil should I take per day? So what was his first question?
Yes, I guess so. It's counterproductive. So it's like switch on and switch off, huh?
Oh boy.
It's like somebody's taking ephedrine, but also takes some antidepressant in order to avoid bipolar disorder.
Wow. So they cancel each other out.
Yeah. Now about krill oil, I'm using 1 gram per meal. You know, that's a lot, but I believe the krill oil is the best thing you can invest in your cardiovascular about the good fats. You know.
Yeah.
But you can use 500 milligrams with meals, or you may use just 1 capsule with breakfast. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. I wonder why krill oil isn't really more popular here in the US like it should be. You know,
It's made out of shrimps, you know, but it's plenty in astaxanthin. This is a carotenoid that avoids the oxidation of the lipids.
Yeah.
And it's plenty also in phospholipids that play a great role in the central nervous system. But the astaxanthin is the really great product, and it's really expensive. Also, Dorian Yates is taking astaxanthin for this.
What's it called?
Astaxanthin, yeah.
I think, is that the stuff that's supposed to prevent blood clotting?
I'm not sure, but it gives this orange color to the lobster, to the shrimps, and to the salmon.
I'm going to tell you right now. Someone told me to buy it. Oh no, that's something that's something totally different. That'll be
nattokinase. Yes.
Nattokinase, yeah.
It resembles the aspirin, you know, anti-clotting. You know?
Right.
Blood thinner.
Gotcha.
If you take too much of it, and you just wanna, you know how you say the word, you know, clean your nose.
I call it snot rocket when it goes flying up.
You start bleeding, you know.
Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, here we go. I'm currently on my 7th week of a test and DECA cycle, both from the pharmacy by prescription. First month was 400 tests, 300 DECA. Last 3 weeks, 600 tests, 600 DECA. I'm seeing very little results. No weight gain. Oh, is this that same guy? Yeah.
This is a weird question, you know.
Yeah.
How's this possible?
He wants to know, is there another compound? Should he try different steroids?
No,
or...
but he says in one point, supposedly the diet and the training is okay. You should define what you think is okay, because you may be wrong, no?
Yeah.
Supposedly. This is a big question.
Yeah, because
how many times you eat? How much protein? How many carbs?
Yeah.
How many meals? Okay. How do you train? You train with machines, cables, or free weights? What is the time between the sets? You know, how much you train? Do you overtrain? Many things, you know. Yeah,
because being on 600 milligrams of test and 600 milligrams of DECA, even for 3 weeks, man.
Come on.
You gotta. How could you not gain at least some weight? This is bizarre.
I guess it's fake the gear, but even if it's not fake, then you're bullshitting with your diet and the time in the gym, you know.
I mean, you know, there are hyper responders to steroids, obviously. I think there must be people at the other end of the spectrum that.
Okay, what is his body weight, his body fat percent? I wanna know his body type.
Right,
is he a super ectomorph?
Well,
he matters also.
He'll come back, because this is the second time he's asked us, so I think he's coming back.
Yeah, but these questions remind me to elementary school, you know.
Yeah.
These guys don't know the alphabet and they're using drugs. They don't know maybe how to lift, you know. How do you execute an exercise? What is your form, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just saying they're fine doesn't tell me anything at all. All right, well, that's a lot of questions for that gentleman, sir. If you're listening, you got to fill us in. Next one, I started September 3rd with 20 milligrams LGD a day, and after 2 weeks, switched to 250 milligrams test enanthate, split in 2 doses every 3 days. I did my blood work. My LDL is 131. My HDL is 46. My ALT was 40 and AST was 54. AST probably from training. I was considering to pump the dose at 375 milligrams test a week, split into 3 doses. What does the doc think health-wise? I'm 38. 225 pounds, pretty lean. I also use finasteride, 2.5 milligrams a day, and Aromacin, 1 pill, 25 milligrams every 3 days. Do they have effects on cholesterol or ALT? What about ezetimibe? Some YouTubers say it's the best, less side effect for keeping your lipids in range. A small dosage, like 10 milligrams. It's a lot of questions.
So first of all, LDL is a bit elevated. It needs to be below 100.
Yeah.
So it's 130.
Okay.
Okay. Now, HDL is good, but I don't know how much is total cholesterol. In a point, he says that he's taking Aromacin, how much? 25 every day?
25 milligrams every 3 days.
Every 3 days, okay. And how much of gear he's taking?
So now he's on, what's LGD? Is that some?
Yeah, it's a SARM. It's a SARM.
Okay.
Sorry. It's a SARM.
Guys get mad that I don't know all about SARMs. I don't care about SARMs, guys. I really don't.
What about?
So he's on 250 milligrams test. Wait, I think he bumped that up. Yeah, he's been on 250 milligrams test and nanthate, split into 2 doses. So he's just doing 250 milligrams test a week.
Yeah, I guess 25 over Exemstan every other day is a lot, so 75 per week. You just need 1 pill of Aromacin with 250 of.
Well, if it's every 3 days, that's twice a week. So he's doing 2 pills of Aromacin a week.
So half a gram. He's taking half a gram or 250 or 1/4 of a gram of test.
So 20 test. He's doing 250 and he wants to ask about going up to 375. He wants to know if that's.
He goes up to 375. He can take three pills of Aromacin per week. But this will perhaps, I'm not sure if it drops down the HDL.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Now, I don't know about the LGD. These things are a big question mark. About the effectiveness, how legitimate they are.
Right.
And they have also side effects to the liver, to the lipids, to the HPDA. They're not as innocent as they should be, or they're supposed to be.
But Aromacin definitely crashes your HDL, doesn't it?
If you abuse it, yes.
Yeah.
And because it's a suicidal, it's very strong. You shouldn't take more than twice a week,
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Our next question, doctor. Here's a training question. Good one. Why is it with legs, one seems to be able to get significant increases in strength, like total weight on a squat or leg press, without visible increases in size? Are leg muscles different? Should legs be trained differently? Less weight, more volume?
I think more reps.
Yeah.
More than 10 reps, more than 12. So doing low reps in legs, you don't stimulate. There are large muscle groups, unlike the chest, or, we can do in bench press just 4 reps,
Yeah.
In order to get all this blood flow and break all these muscle fibers, I guess you need more than 10 or 12 reps, with heavy weights as well, So, and because the legs are used every day, just walking the stairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to develop resistance in lifting weight,
Right.
Not get fatigued easily.
Yeah. I mean, so many people, I've seen so many people, they load up the leg press or they load up the squat and they do like 3 reps, 4 reps. And they have legs like, nothing.
And moreover, you need to stimulate legs from different angles, all kinds of exercises.
Yeah.
Even the adductor machines, even the kickback for the glutes, either the abductor would also hit the glutes, the three different types of leg curls, laying down, standing, and seated,
Yeah.
all the different angles, because it's a huge muscle group, and never in the same day from the rear leg, unless you're a Superman and you eat a ton of food,
Yeah. Or you could do, I still do hamstrings first, because then I still have plenty of energy left to do quads. But if you do quads first, by the time you get to hamstrings, you're too tired to do a good job on them.
But if you do quads first, you blast them for good.
Yeah. But people ask me about, because my legs are pretty big. So they would say, what'd you do for them? I said, squats, hack squats, leg press, lunges. I did everything.
You see, 4 different exercises.
Yeah.
A lazy bastard will just do one. We'll do half an hour of squat. No, not just this,
Well, and like you said, you got to do reps. You can't just do a few reps. I mean, 20 rep sets of squats are one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. You know, if you could do like, you know, I never did more than 360. The most I ever did for 20 reps was 365. And that was like, I saw my life flash before my eyes. It's by the time you get to like rep 15, you want to die. Your lungs feel like they're going to pop out of your chest. You know,
you feel horrible. Also, the lactic acid burning, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot because the legs, like you said, we walk on them every day. It takes a lot of work to make them grow. They don't want to grow.
In order to wake them up, and you have to punish them a lot.
Yeah. So a few sets ain't going to cut it. Yeah, it's going to take a lot. Trenbolone. We love Trenbolone questions. Hi. How liver toxic is Trenbolone compared to oral steroids like D-bol or Anadrol? If only 100 milligrams per week of Tren were to be used, how much liver toxicity would be expected, should be expected?
No, Trenbolone is not supposed to be severely alkylated, but there was a guy at the office who was using for 6 months 1 ml of Trenbolone, and he had eventually 3 digital liver enzymes.
Wow.
Of course, if you use for 6 months a Dianabol or an Anadrol or, you know, a Winstrol pill, you know, you're gonna reach those values just in a month, you know.
Sure.
So what is those?
Only 100 milligrams a week. That's it.
1 ml. I guess stay the most 8 weeks, just 2 months, you know, in order to be sure.
Yeah.
You're not gonna experience 3 digital liver enzymes. Also, depends when you take the blood test if you have been overtrained. Out of rhabdo, liver elevates.
Mm.
And of course, if you use painkillers, okay, if you drink alcohol, things like that. You know, I was taking 1 gram of paracetamol every day when I had this injury, my surgery.
Yeah, you're
and my liver enzymes went sky high out of this, you know, the painkiller, you know.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah. It was addicted because there was also opiates to that. So I was reaching 1 or 2 grams per day of paracetamol, and this strains the liver, obviously, you know. And the bloody doctor will tell you, stop taking protein, you know. And he neglects the most important fact, you know, which is the painkiller.
Well, they love in the US, they love giving painkillers to patients. They love it. Everybody gets painkillers, and you know, that's where we have a massive opioid problem in the US. Or, you know,
Elvis died out of painkillers, you know, his later also, Michael Jackson, yes.
Yeah.
And it gives you horrible constipation.
Yeah.
Opiates.
Terrible, highly addictive, and you can't poop. Oof. We talked about SSRIs last week, so someone had a follow-up question on that. Said, the question doesn't come to the end, but he says, sometimes you may need them, but people have to realize that they just mask the problem and they come with severe side effects. By the way, Seroxat is paroxetine, also sold as Paxil, and Wellbutrin. Bupropion is a norepinephrine dopamine reuptake inhibitor. It does not affect serotonin and has much lower side effects, but it can make you anxious because it has a stimulant effect. Speaking from experience, great video as always. So now the question, if I may, do you think I need any SERMs or AIs on a 375 to 500 milligram dose of testosterone if I'm not experiencing much or any side effects? If yes, what dosage you think would be appropriate, and should they be used on a regular basis?
Well, first of all, you need the HCG if you have used testosterone. It's more promising, you know. And in first place, you should do for 2 weeks HCG and then very low dose of SERMs, because there are people who abuse SERMs and feel horrible. And actually, you have more side effects than kicking your HPDA. So use low dose of SERMs. For another 2 weeks after the HCG, you know, but certainly it doesn't mean that you don't have symptoms of hypogonadism, because this will reach out after testosterone will clean your system.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Final question. We haven't had a hair loss question in a couple of weeks, but it's a very common question because a lot of men deal with this. Hi, doc. I'm experiencing slight hair fall and thinning. Should I supplement with finasteride or dutasteride? What dosage and for how long?
Dutasteride better in local form of foam, along with minoxidil, and oral finasteride.
Wow.
And wash your hair with ketoconazole shampoo. These are the 4 great ingredients. Okay, and use testosterone as well, because you'll grow thicker hair with testosterone and them. If you don't use testosterone with them, you'll grow hair, but not so thick as with testosterone. Plus, your dick will go down.
You know, we can't.
So if you want to avoid the side effects, use testosterone, but also you'll develop thick hair.
You're not going to have hair like the doctor, though. That's just genetics. Look at that hair. That's a lot of hair. Oof. I haven't had that much hair since I was like 28, 29. Oof. That's a lot.
Do you have also hairy chest?
I don't know.
Hairy back?
My back grows. I shave my chest almost every day.
Yeah, you shave, but if you don't, do you have also a hairy guy?
Yeah, my back gets hairy because I can't reach it, so I have to get my wife to use the clippers.
I know, but there are guys that are
I got a very hairy
hairless. You know, they're blessed not to shave.
Yeah, I remember because my late father didn't care about body hair. They didn't care back then. This was the 70s, whatever. When he took his shirt off, it looked like there was a rug. There was so much hair. His shoulders, his chest, his back. I was like, oh, it used to gross me out because you couldn't see the skin. There was so much hair. It's like an ape. That's a lot. So yeah, definitely would be very hairy if I didn't.
I wonder what Arnold did. I guess back in his prime, Arnold has done laser.
Laser? Wow. Did they have laser?
I guess so, because he cannot shave at this age. You know, I doubt it.
I mean, I'm sure he could shave and have people help him shave. The guys back then, yeah. I mean,
because the rich men use laser to take off all the hair. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
it costs a lot.
I assume they were just shaving with a razor, their body hair back then, like most of us do now. Yeah, laser is very expensive. Oof.
I know, but they can afford it. So.
Yeah, and it hurts too. Have you ever had it done?
Yeah, it's painful. Yeah.
Oh, I did it once on my back. I said, nope, I'm good. I'm not doing this again. Because it's like, it feels like little needles going into your skin. It's just lasers. It's crazy. Anyway, well, that's all the questions, doctor. Want to encourage everyone again to pick up the book, The Bible of Bodybuilding, on Amazon.com. Visit the doctor's website, gtoul.com. Plenty of information there. Articles in English and Greek. Of course, follow the doctor on Instagram at Dr. George Tsouliatos. A lot of update pictures. The doc's been dieting for months now. He's looking.
So I had a photo shooting on the beach, and my body weight is 205 now. Wow. I realized that I need to be below 200 to step on stage. Plus, I need to get some gear, you know, and I'm not sure if I can do both of those factors. Plus, the fact I'm worried about getting screwed up by the judges, you know. But in order to cut, you know, the lower back and the glutes, of course, I need to step on my regimen because I was just doing HRT, you know, and diet more, of course. So I need to drop another 10 pounds.
Easy enough. Takes you about 10 weeks. Yeah. I think that'll take you right.
You know,
I
lost 11 pounds in 13 weeks. It was really slowly, but I was trying just to kill the fat.
Right.
So I'm about now 60% of my journey. But in the end of the journey, I have to blast a little bit of the gear, and this will be contradictory to what I'm preaching.
Well, you know, you've heard the saying, do as I say, not as I do. I mean, you know, if you're only going to be using it for a very short time and you have access to all the blood testing and everything you need to make sure you're not really harming yourself, you know, that's what it's all about. If you can,
and after you lose from somebody else, you just have regrets why you didn't step on gear, you know, and then comes the regrets, you know, and second thoughts. Yeah. It gets addictive.
Oh, trust me, I know. I competed for 24 years. I know all about it. Oof.
How many shows?
30.
30 shows, huh?
Yeah, 30.
Man, that's a lot.
The first one was I was 19 years old at my first show, and I was 43 years old at my last show.
You're really good at it, you know. I was not looking like this the first time I won with gear 3 months in cycle, you know.
I probably should have stayed natural. I should have stayed natural. Oh well. I only say stay natural because I probably would have done better as a natural bodybuilder eventually. Not in the NPC, I wouldn't have been in the IFBB, but I probably could have been a natural pro and done pretty well eventually if I'd stayed with it. But I was never going to be any great.
You would be always tempted to cheat the tests, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's a hide and stick game.
I went on gear anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, no regrets. Did what I did. All right, doctor. Thank you so much, guys. We all appreciate you watching the show. Leave your comments below. It's a wonderful thing that you have access to a medical doctor with all this knowledge about training, supplementation, gear, all that stuff, personal experience with plenty of his patients. So we thank you so much, doctor, for being here every week with us. So guys, leave your questions for next week right here below. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, do all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time right here on Ask Dr. Testosterone. All right.